give you a quick rundown of how it's going to go this evening. And if you're just joining us, my name is Joel Byers. I'm a comedian, podcaster here at Hot Breath. We do podcasts, interviewing comedians. We do weekly live streams answering comedian questions. We have a Facebook group where we all write together. Basically, this is the world's most supportive and inclusive comedy community on a mission to help cultivate the next generation of self-made comics and really giving comedians or aspiring comedians the tools and the community and the accountability to develop their craft and go pro at this game. And who knows, one day, someone you see on this show tonight may be on Netflix. So it's very, very exciting. So welcome aboard, everyone. Officially, how this is going to go tonight, my friends. I'm going to play 3 sets for you. Each is 60 seconds. And how this game goes is everyone who competed in this contest got the theme of holidays. Here's this month's contest theme. Every month we have a different theme. This month's theme was holidays. And how it works is comedians get 2 weeks to write a brand new 60-second set based on this theme. And this is no easy feat. It sounds obvious. 60 seconds in 2 weeks. It takes comedians years and months to develop minutes of material. When you see a comedian doing an hour, they've developed that over years and years and honed the craft over years. So to do 60 seconds brand new in 2 weeks is no small task. So people that competed worked really hard. And how it works is at the end of those 2 weeks, my wife and I watch all the submissions together. We pick our favorite top 3, and then we do these live streams for you, the comedy fans, the Hot Breathiverse, as we call you, to vote live on who's going to win the $100 and an interview on Hot Breath. So a few of the ground rules to keep in mind. When my wife and I watch these sets, there's 3 things we're looking for. So as you're watching each of these sets, keep these 3 things in mind. And I will say this was the closest contest we've ever had. We've been doing them over the past few months. During the pandemic, we did these a lot. This was the closest. The competition was so tight, and it was tough to even narrow it down to these top 3. But we watched these sets with 3 grading criteria in mind that I want you to watch all of these sets through. So number 1, how on theme is the set? So the theme is holidays. So how do each of these comics use this theme creatively? How did they make it their own? And how on theme is it as well? So basically just how on theme is it, the theme of holidays? Number 2, how unique is this set? Are you getting a sense of who this comedian is? Are you getting a sense of this comedian's unique sense of humor, their unique point of view? And that doesn't always mean it's the most autobiographical set. It just means you're getting a sense of their quirks, their unique comedic voice, because that's the whole goal as comedians. Our whole goal is to be finding our comedic voice, to be writing about topics through our unique lens, our unique sense of humor. I truly believe, and I've been doing comedy almost 15 years and interviewed over 400 comedians, I truly believe we all have a 6th sense that is our sense of humor. And the whole goal is for us to find our unique sense and tap into it. So as you're watching these sets, how unique is it? How unique is this comic? How much are you learning about them, whether personally, autobiographically, or just how they view the world and their silly quirks? Keep that in mind. So number 1, how on theme is it? Number 2, how unique is it to this comedian? And number 3, how funny is it? Honestly, there's an old saying here in the comedy world, an old metric we call laughs per minute. And the goal is to get as many laughs in 1 minute as possible. So the third thing I'm going to be grading on is just how many laughs are in this set? How many laughs are they packing into this 60-second set? It's not easy to be getting a lot of laughs in a minute, but all these comedians worked very hard to hone these sets. So keep that in mind. These 3. Number 1, how on theme is it? The theme of holidays. Number 2, how unique is this set to this comedian? Do you get a sense of their sense of humor, to their unique point of view on the world, their unique take on this theme? And then number 3, how funny is it? How many laughs in the minute are they getting? So after each of these comedians we're going to watch, take notes. Keep that in mind, those 3 grading criteria, because there's a lot at stake here, okay? The winner gets $100 and an interview on the world famous Hot Breath podcast. So, ooh, I know. Aren't we fancy? And these mugs are for sale as well on our YouTube channel if you'd like to get one. And for anyone out there aspiring to maybe one day be a comedian, or you're a comedian, want to level up your learning, I am doing a Black Friday sale on all of our online workshops that I will share a link to during this live stream if you'd like to kind of get in on those goods. But without further ado, my friends, are y'all ready? Y'all ready to officially kick this off? Y'all ready to kick this into high gear here? We got some fire emojis coming in. Beautiful. Oh, Anthony Borba said, vote for the Papusa Assassin. Que bueno, wey. Hay una fiesta aquí. Lo siento, Gringo Joel, para un momento. All right, let's get into it. We got people saying, let's go. We got a dab and emoji. Que bueno. All right, so remember those 3 criteria, my friends, and how we're going to do this. Your top 3 finalists. Where'd it go? I was going to show you the top 3 finalists. That was not it. Oh, well. Oh, well. There we go. So your top 3 finalists tonight are going to be Stephen Riley. Ah, Dios mío. ¿Dónde está la pintura? Stephen Riley, Mitchell Marikin, and Chris Beasley. Those are going to be your 3 top finalists today. And we're going to go in the order of Stephen Riley, then Mitchell, and then Chris Beasley. So, and then I will post a poll in the live stream where you will vote live. The winner will come on the show and also win $100. So, let's get into it. Without further ado, my friends, first up we have Stephen Riley. So remember those 3 voting criteria, and let's have some fun this evening. And most importantly,
let's get ready to rumble!
I present to you Stephen Riley.
I do not get the little drummer boy. Does you mean to tell me that a little boy can just walk into a barn and start playing his drums for a newly born baby without repercussions? And I don't know if you've been in the same room with a lady who just gave birth, but there's already smelly animals, manure, 3 Magi's who could possibly not know what Old Spice is, and mix that with an 8-year-old boy playing the drums? And I'll never admit an 8-year-old boy, they don't play the drums softly going rum bum 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 bum. They play the drums like they're Animal from the Muppets going So I guess the real miracle here wouldn't be Jesus. The real miracle here would be they found an 8-year-old boy who could play the drum softly going rum bum 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 bum. And let's talk about double standards here for a second. Because when I do the exact same thing, all I get is banned from the hospital room as the pregnant lady beats the crap out of me going rum bum bum bum. Get out of here!
All right. There it is. Contestant number 1, Stephen Riley, my friends. So take a minute, reflect on what you just saw, absorb what you just saw, think about those 3 criteria, and take note on what you enjoyed about that set, because as we watch all 3, you may forget certain quirks of the various comedians you're seeing. So do keep that in mind as we move forward here. Oh, that's great. Eddie showing an applause for Stephen there. Love to see it. Sandy Bernstein said she liked the repercussions, LOL. That's hilarious. Repercussions, like percussion. Evelyn hitting him with the drum emoji. Very cool. Yeah, so a lot of love coming in for Stephen. Yes, very, very funny there, my friends. Que cómica. Or cómico. Es posible. Very nice. So that is your first contestant, my friends. We have 2 more, and then we will do the live voting. So just keep Mr. Steven in mind as we're moving forward here. And now next up, Mitchell Marroquin. I hope I'm saying that right. Marroquin? Marroquin. What is it, Mitchell? Marroquin. Marroquin. Mitchell. Sorry if I'm getting it wrong. Am I getting it wrong? Nod your head if I'm getting it right or wrong, Mitchell. Getting it right? Marroquin? Que bueno. Gringo Joe, el campeón, el rey de comedy aquí. Okay, let's get on with it. So, number 2, we have Mr. Mitchell Marroquin. Enjoy.
When you're broke, your parents don't give individual Christmas gifts. You get one gift for all the kids. For example, my parents gave us all trauma. We love decorating for Christmas. My mom would put up the tree, the kids would hang up the ornaments, and Dad would put up a 30-pack of Bud Lights. Having an alcoholic around wasn't all bad. His Christmas hangovers consisted of nausea, headaches, and a whole bunch of presents he doesn't remember buying. We even had our own version of Secret Santa. We would stay up until midnight and try to guess which officer was going to come tonight. Our Christmas stories were a little different also. As Latinos, we celebrate on Christmas Eve, so ours sounded like 'twas the night before Christmas, and all around the house, the masa was stirring and someone got punched in the mouth. The stockings were hung up by the bed filled with air, but we're all outside, waiting for the cops to get here.
Yeah! Mitchell! That is contestant number 2, my friends. So you have seen Steven and now Mitchell. And we have one more before the voting today, my friends. Oh, and we got some love coming in for that set. Very nice. A lot of applause, a lot of laughing emojis. Beautiful. Love to see it. Yes, very clever. Meech got rhymes, says Julian. Bud Light, Secret Santa. Sandy liked that one. Evelyn, punched in the mouth. Very funny. Christian said, I can relate. James says, 2 nice sets. Yes, we do have 2 nice sets. I'm telling you, this was the closest contest we've had. It was difficult even just to get down to these top 3. So this is the creme de la creme of this month's contest. But a lot of strong sets were submitted this week. And we just have one more this evening, my friends. Then we're going to do our live voting. So thank you all for hanging out. If you are enjoying this, hit the like button on this live stream. Feel free to hit the share button as well. Share this on social media, on Facebook. Let's spread the love. We're all here to just help comics get better together. And we're really trying to spread that positive message out into the world. So we appreciate you being a part of this tonight and all the fun happenings we have here every single week on Hot Breath. And let's get into our final comedian, shall we? So, you've seen Steven. You've seen Mitchell. And now our final comedian of the evening, Chris Beasley. And then we'll do our live voting. See who wins the $100. So without further ado, our final comedian, Mr. Chris Beasley.
Black holidays ain't secrets no more. Shit. We gonna end up with a cookout at Cracker Barrel. I don't want no emancipation pudding, no freedom fries. I don't want to hear is the cornbread gluten free. I had a white dude tell me enjoy Juneteenth. I said, sir, that is a hate crime. I didn't profile your holiday, but enjoy January 6th. We don't go up to fat dudes and be like, Thanksgiving was bussin', huh? Remember when being woke was just saying happy holidays? Now my pronouns don't seem enough. I gotta be like, is he, him, Easter, Christmas? But he looks like a Kwanzaa. I know, man, I'm white as hell. Keep that shit on a down low. Damn. We so progressive, the Dixie Chicks changed their name to the Dudes. I'm like, kids don't have homework, meanwhile adults get home improvement? Baby, why am I on the roof? Our house transitioned so much, I don't think it should read the children. My wife's like, we need to remodel the home, my mother's coming over. We need a bigger home, my mother's coming over. How about she doesn't come over?
There it is. There it is, my friends. So we saw Steven, we saw Mitchell, and just Chris Beasley right there. So based on those three criteria, how on theme is it? How unique is the set to this comic? And how flat out funny is it? Laughs per minute. We got a lot of good comments coming in. A lot of laughter emojis for Chris there. James said, oh, these are tough choices. Yes, tough choices. And you can only pick one, my friends. But this is how it's going to go. I'm about to post the poll, and it's up to you to decide the fate of these comedians. The poll will be posted in 3, 2, 1. Oh, the poll is posted. Get your voting on. I'm going to play a song, and we're going to see what's popping. Go ahead and get your voting in. Get your voting in. And if you enjoy the Hot Breath happenings here, you can join our email list where I send weekly emails giving you updates on our live stream and our podcasts we have coming out and educational resources. So if you're interested in staying involved in the Hot Breathiverse and getting involved in our future live streams and community events, I just put a link in the live stream to where you can go and join our email list. And also posted a link to the Black Friday sale. If you're looking to learn some more about comedy, I've done some workshops and I'm actually doing a Black Friday sale this week where you get all 3 of my workshops for the price of 1. So, not a bad deal at all if you're looking to learn a little bit about comedy. Not a bad deal at all. And we already got some peeps talking in here. Megan says, congrats to all 3. Very funny. Yes, totally agree. All very funny. Robin Beasley with the laugh emojis. Josh says CB all the way. Andy says Chris for the win. But then we have Julian saying, let's go Meech. Anthony Borboa, Meech. Oh, I like Julian. Empanadas por vida, carnal. Que bueno. Anthony Borboa, papusas Julian. Or Julian. Ja. Oh, Dios mío. Oh, this is so fun. All right, so just another minute here, my friends, and the voting is looking like we got a Meech. Meech is at 61%, Steven and Chris, a little bit behind, but it's a democracy, my friends. And I think the people have spoken this evening. So the voting's been going on for 2 minutes. We have 33 votes, 38 people watching. So I think the song just ended. I think we're going to call it. And the winner, my friends, we're going to call him Meech. They call me Big Meech. Larry Hoover. All right. So let's get Meech in here. Y'all wanna talk to Meech? Y'all wanna meet Meech? Let's do it. So we're gonna bring Meech on in just un momento, por favor. Let me get. We're just gonna put in Meech. Para su nombre. And let me try to get Ba ba boom. Actually, let me do it this way. So if we could get his whole face, we want to be able to see that beautiful mug. There we go. All right, y'all ready to see Meech? Y'all ready for Meech to come in here? El Buki Mayor. He's invited to the carne asada. Que bueno. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome your winner of the final $100 joke contest of 2024. Meech. Bienvenidos, Meech. Y felicidades, wey.
Thank you. You had me cracking up the whole time, man.
Yo, I just, I was code switching, I guess. Whenever I can get a chance.
Yeah. I do that all the time with everybody.
Yeah.
You got to code switch,
How was my Spanish? What would you say for a gringo?
I mean, mine is already bad. I get made fun of for my Spanish a lot too, so I'm probably the worst person. The worst place you can learn and speak Spanish is a Call of Duty lobby because they'll call you out quick.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, that
They'll
makes
let
me
you know
feel
quicker.
better. That makes me feel a little bit better then. Beautiful. So what we're going to do, this is actually going to be posted for people watching. We're actually going to post this interview on the podcast and the YouTube channel. So I'm going to do a quick intro. And as you're watching, if anyone has questions for Mitchell or Meech, should we call you Meech? ¿Cuál es su nombre?
Whichever is easiest for you. Meech, all my friends know me by Meech, and that's mostly because apparently Mitchell is tough for everyone,
Mitchell. But I got the
especially Starbucks people.
Marroquin. Was that how you pronounce it?
Marroquin, yeah.
Marroquin.
Yeah, exactly.
Que bueno.
You got it right. So I guess based on that, your Spanish is good.
Que bueno. So what I'll do here, people watching, if you have a question for Meech, feel free to post in the live chat and we'll get to it. But I'm going to do just a little intro that will be just heard on the podcast, just to make this a little official here. And then we're going to get into this fun little interview with our buddy Amigo Meech here. So let me just write the timestamp. Where are we at? About 34 and a half seconds. And here we go in 3, 2, 1. What's goody, Hot Breathiverse? Welcome to our very special $100 contest finale. Every month we do a $100 joke contest where comedians compete to write a brand new set in just 2 weeks, where the winner gets $100 and an interview on Hot Breath. We live stream the whole finale, and our winner this week is the one and only, the very funny Mitchell Marroquin. Mitchell, congratulations, my friend. Congratulations.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
So give
And
the
also
Hot Breath.
shout out to you for doing this while your wife is pregnant and during the holidays. That's tough already.
I appreciate that. Yeah, that's why this was the November contest. That's why this is the last one of the year, because she's actually due in December. So this is very exciting.
Congratulations.
I know. I'm an adult. Shout out to you for neglecting your pregnant wife to do this, is I think what I heard there. Yeah. So tell us, Mitchell, or Meech, as your friends are calling you in the live chat, give us a little bit of your background in comedy here. Where are you based? How long you been doing it? Give us a little bit of the Meech story here.
So I've been doing comedy just over a year. I did my first open mic last August.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I never really thought to get into comedy. Luckily I have, I guess I call it unlimited stage time. I work in a barbershop, so I'm able to just do crowd work pretty much all day. And hone my jokes. I get to toss them out every once in a while. And I actually, the way it started was a comedian was in our barbershop, and I was cracking her up. And she goes, "Why are you not doing comedy?"
Wow.
And I said, to be honest, I'm not that type of funny. I don't think I could write something down and just be funny. I said, every time I try to do something like that, it just falls flat. And that's because I didn't understand. So I reached out to a buddy of mine, Nicole. Shout out to Nicole. Shout out to Tamale. And Nicole pointed me in the right direction to Tamale Sepp, and she taught me how to. She's an instructor at Second City, and she actually took the time and really taught me bare bones how to write, how to understand comedy. Um, and she really was thorough as far as this is how you write a joke, this is how you understand a joke. If you watch a joke, whatever it is, break it down, figure out how they wrote it. So I've always kind of been a student of comedy, and just because I was always the class clown, being funny is just something that it just comes natural to me, and um, learning the structure is kind of where I ran into the wall of the grind. You could be funny to your friends, but making Joel Byers laugh in Atlanta is a whole different game, and that's where I'm a perfectionist, so I don't think every time I write a joke, I'm like, who said I'm funny? Who did that? Because this is dumb. So I'm very hard on myself also.
And who was the instructor? Let's shout her out again.
Her name is Tamale Sepp. She has brasschucklescomedy.com. She's actually from Tucson. She's in Chicago, based out of Chicago. I'm from Tucson, Arizona. So our comedy scene here is not the biggest, but it's alive. And so she kind of took me under the wing and taught me everything. Taught me, bare bones structure. How do I do this? And I just took it upon myself to watch Hot Breath, to watch, read Jerry Corley's book, Greg
Mm-hmm.
Dean, Judy Carter. I watch all your interviews. I learned a lot off of Pete Lee,
Yeah.
um, pretty much just everyone, watching all of them. I think the one I took the most to heart was Earthquakes. Don't overthink your writing. Just get up there and just do what you do, man.
Yeah, Earthquake brought the heat for sure. It's always great to learn from OGs like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and shout out to Tamale as well for spreading that comedy love. That's what we're all about here. So take us through your set a little bit, because you can definitely hear in the set just how meticulous and how personal it is, which is great, which is what we're always looking for, is just how we learning about this comedian, how personal is the material, we're getting a sense of who they are and where they're coming from. And it just had laugh, 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 laugh. So how did you go about structuring the set, adding the punchlines so consistently? Kind of take us through you saying, okay, the theme is holidays. Now, what was like step one? And take us through how you started to iterate into this final product we heard today.
So basically, what I do is number one, the holidays was pretty much, I thought, was perfect for me because that's where pretty much most of my trauma came from. So I'm like, I have so much stories. I have so much, and one of the things that Tamale taught me was try not to lie. It's hard to
Mm,
lie and be funny. The funny is better in the truth. And if you are gonna lie, let the lie tell the truth. And I thought that was really cool. So when I approached this was I pretty much just purged everything that I can remember, um, kind of like a journal. And then I
mm-hmm.
wrote my point of view, which is something I got from Pete Lee, where he's like, forgot how he said how to structure a joke. What's your point of view? And I used that point of view to kind of structure. All right, I had a lot going on as a kid. So how do I use a word association list based on Christmas? You know, reindeer, candy cane, stuff like that. Then I did Tamale taught me this thing called starbursting, which is basically a Venn diagram.
Mm-hmm.
And you just write a ton of topics, anything you could think of that happened to me that I can remember. And I just got all three of those and I just kind of put it together like a puzzle. Like, lights. How do I get lights? Well, my stepdad was always drinking Budweisers and Bud Lights. How can I make that into a decoration, joke? So let me make that into the punchline. And that one was really tough because I was really hard on myself as far as how to deliver that. Because how do I make it flow? And then I thought, okay, the rule of three, it sounded a lot different coming out. And one thing I heard Jerry Seinfeld say was sometimes you just got to say it over and over and over and over until it sounds natural. And that's basically what I did. I just wrote it down and then I just kept chopping it and chopping it. But pretty much everything was the truth, I felt like my parents, our family, our house was very chaotic. So I'm like, there's just everything that happened. I'm like, okay, well, we saw sirens more than carolers in our house. So it was pretty crazy. So, and the last joke, which was, that 'twas the night before Christmas, that one, I don't know. It just came naturally. I thought, maybe I can just rewrite a classic. And I actually didn't know it. I was like, what was "'twas the night before"? "'Twas the night before Christmas." I just kind of messed with the words a little bit and added my own stuff about, how crazy our household was. And I think the 1 minute mark, I think people underestimate how hard it is to get a set of who I am, what I'm trying to be funny about in
Mm-hmm.
1 minute.
Yeah.
That is, man, I don't know how much times I must have done my video 50 times because I kept messing up. And I just kept, how do I deliver this? No, I'm going over by 10 seconds. I'm going over by 20 seconds. I need a cadence, delivery. How do I deliver this properly? So I took jokes out. I had a couple domestic violence jokes that I took out. And I was like, okay, those might not go over as well. But I kept the core of what I wanted to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's part of the discipline of keeping it to 60 seconds is challenging comics not only to write based on a theme in just 2 weeks, but then also it's like, oh, you have a bunch of stuff. Now you have to work on not only the writing discipline, but the editing discipline. And like, yes, writing's a muscle and editing is a whole other muscle as well. Yeah,
for sure. That muscle was definitely exhausted. I felt I was sore the next day, definitely, from that, because all those, just writing itself is tough. And then like someone said that like telling jokes is like songwriting, because this word, like even as simple as the holidays are here, takes up too much time, so I didn't take that out. Mm-hmm. So it's just, let me take these words out. If it's not important to the joke, it shouldn't be in it.
Yeah, and the goal of this contest is comics get more than a minute of material that they can then take to the stage and build on. But for the contest, you gotta whittle it down to the tightest minute possible, which you definitely did.
Yeah, that was definitely the goal, and because of that, I did the same process that I'm also working on Thanksgiving and New Year's, which is also chaotic. So. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to keep doing it.
What's your favorite joke from the set, would you say?
Probably the first, I thought the first one, which was trauma, just because the misdirect was written so well. At least I wrote it like 5-6 times and I was like, it's not misdirected enough. And that's why when I had wrote it, I said, let me try to do more of a misdirect. And also I don't know why it makes me laugh, just because I just remember the police coming to our house literally every Christmas, which was the Secret Santa joke. Oh. We and I remember even certain officers would come by and they'd be like, "I saw you last year." I'm like, "Yeah, thanks."
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my, yeah, it's tough to know what all is like true and what all is embellished, but that's pretty much on.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
that's what I try to do,
Wow.
as and it was pretty easy to write where I have trouble writing. Like I remember you saying one time, like if you can make traffic funny, you can, that's where you expand from there. And I'm like, I don't know, I disassociate while I drive, so I don't even remember
Yeah.
sometimes I get home.
The goal of that was talking about like young comics sometimes try to take these big swings on like cultural issues or politics, and then the audience, they get upset at the audience if the audience gets offended because they see someone like Shane Gillis or Bill Burr tackling these topics and killing with it. So me using traffic as an example is like basically telling comics kind of learn the fundamentals and kind of learn the rules and then break them. But a lot of times comics just see someone like Bill Burr and are like, oh, I'm just going to go do that. But Bill spent 3 decades learning the craft and how you can start to find the humor in these topics. So that's, yeah, and everyone has a different process, but I try to give comics that perspective of like, learn the rules and then break them. But some people try to jump the line and then get upset at the audience just because they didn't have the comedy chops to pull off something. So,
Yeah, I
yeah.
definitely get that, especially as a new comedian. I probably haven't even written 100 jokes since I've started, so it's tough to sit there, and especially being a perfectionist, you're just like, this joke just isn't good enough. I tell my wife all the time, she's one of my big. I think she's tough on me, but she's like, I need you to be better. I need you to be better. I'm like, dude,
Wow.
I'm trying to win a Mark Twain award off this first joke. I need every single joke to be Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, Chris Rock quality. Like, I need that. Where's
Uh-huh.
my award at?
And do you work out your jokes like at work as well in the barbershop?
Yeah, absolutely. So sometimes I'll just, we'll be talking about something in the shop and I'll write it down. I carry a small little notebook. Actually, I have it on me right now. It's nothing like Mark Norman's, but I carry a small notebook
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
just write. Yeah, exactly like that. And if I said something funny, I'll write it down. Or if I have a funny joke, like an idea, just a raw topic, I'll just write it down. And I try to do current events, but I guess I haven't found my comedic voice there. So I just try to write about stuff that if something happens, um, if it happens in the shop or if it's something that I already worked on, I'll do it in the shop and see how it goes. Um, but the shop is definitely an easy place to do crowd work because, I mean, it's a roast central in there. Especially, people come in, they'll try to pick at you, and then it's just too easy. For someone like me who's been doing it for so long, it's like you're making yourself an easy target, dude.
That yeah, you get reps every day basically doing that. You get to
Yeah,
do stage
exactly.
time even when you're not on stage.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is weird because I don't feel on stage. I definitely get the anxiety and I get the rush, and I'm like, this is gonna be bad. But when I'm when I'm at the shop, I don't feel that at all. I feel like I could be as dark as I need to be. I can kind of be unfiltered, um, which was tough because when Tamale first took me in, she had a few rules for me, which I always tell her like, um, it's like learning how to dribble, shoot, and do layups before you shoot 3 pointers. So she had rules, no sex, no drugs, no vulgarity, don't cuss, be completely clean. And
Mm.
for someone in a barbershop, you know how hard that is. So and I've seen it in action. I've seen people being able to be funny without cussing, and I see how powerful it is. So I try to really apply that because I'm like, if I add a cuss word in there, it's over. It's really going to be funnier. I can add the emotion, I can add the attitude later, but let's just make it funny first.
That's bars. Yeah, definitely. That's a great challenge to not have to fall back on the vulgarity or the swearing, but really not having that crutch from the beginning. That's gold.
Yeah, That's something that, oh man, it was, that first 6 weeks was hell. I went into this thinking I got an hour already. Don't worry, put me on stage right now.
Of course.
I got it, man. Give me my Netflix special today.
Right, right,
And
right,
then
right.
she's like, so I went on there and I learned structure, and I was like, I don't even have 20 seconds. I don't have one solid joke. This is bad. This is all bad.
You're like, oh, I'm him.
Yeah.
I'm the chosen one. And then you get on. Yeah,
Yeah.
the stage is very humbling as well.
Oh man, it's so humbling. I go up there and I'm just like, this is hell. And just to get a chuckle, you just feel like, oh, okay, that's good.
Mm. And there's a lot of young comics that listen to this show. So like, how do you prepare for your set or overcome this stage anxiety? Or like, a lot of people are kind of going through what you're going through, or even younger in this game. So like, what kind of advice or kind of point of view can you share on how you overcome these struggles?
So I guess I don't know how much people out there deal with mental health, but in order to do this, I guess on a more consistent basis, I actually started therapy because I got diagnosed with chronic anxiety and panic. And that was something I knew I had to tackle first. You
Mm-hmm.
know, doing something as daunting as getting on stage and trying to make random people, especially drunk people in a bar, laugh, that's tough. And also, I noticed that in open mics, it's mostly comedians working their stuff, and they're not going to laugh all that much. So it's very tough. So I guess I learned, one of the things that Tamale told me was, um, do it scared. You know, go up there if you're scared, do it scared. And along with, stuff that I learned in therapy, just calm myself down. I guess just figure out what scares me about this. The weird thing is, I don't have a fear of public speaking. It's the anticipation. Before, I'm like, every time I've gone up there, I'm like, who told me I could do this? Who told me I could get up there? Because none of this is funny. And why did anyone tell me that I can do this? And it's that, I guess, just tightening your belt and just being like, screw it, I'm going to go up there and I'm going to just, if I fall flat on my face, at least I tried. I'd rather fail than not try. And that's what has probably been the best thing. There's every time I go up on stage, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to faint. But then I'm just like, you know what? I'm fine. I'm good. As soon as I grab the mic, I'm okay. Um, I think probably the craziest one was about 2 weeks ago. I was invited to go meet a comedian, a headliner from LA. His name is Sebastian Satina. He was performing in another town here, and he hits me up. I was in my underwear eating dinner, and he goes, "Hey man, can you get to this town?" And I go, "Yeah, man. I've been wanting to meet him. I thought we were just gonna talk." I walk in, and this guy goes, "Hey, you're on stage. You're first in 5 minutes." And I was like, I don't even have anything written. And he goes, what? Dude, go up there and make people laugh. That's what you do, right? Go up there. So it was super humbling to go up there with no material, just jokes that I guess I vaguely remember. And it was my worst case scenario, besides doing them in front of my wife, because she's like, yeah, that's not funny.
Yeah. Put some
So
clothes
going
on.
up,
Probably saying, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Why is your spoon your microphone in your underwear? And so I drove over there, and I did well, man. I went up there, and luckily they laughed at me, and I got another invite back. So that was my worst case. Go up there, and I guess just don't overthink it. Go up there and just, especially open mics. We're just here in Tucson. They always say this is where jokes come to die. So
Nah.
this is where So I thought that was great. Everyone's going up there expecting one joke to work maybe out of the 5 minutes. So that's really the attitude I go up there. I'm like, I'm about to find out what jokes are funny and what jokes are stupid, and or they just need to be rewritten, which most of them are rewrites. So I go up there, and I just do it scared, man. I'm terrified up there.
So you basically like you're feeling the nerves before the show. And that's
Yeah.
I think that's what stops people from even attempting comedy. So many people want to try it, but there's just this barrier and this hurdle to overcome. So even when you feel that fear, you just remind yourself that that's normal and basically do it anyway. And that helps you get
Yeah.
through it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the best way to skydive is jump out the plane.
Yeah. And you survive. Like that's we can
Yeah.
catastrophize anything in our imaginations, but then the reality is, oh, it's 5 minutes and I will survive this and feel better after. Almost focusing on the feeling you'll have after as well, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, just getting out of your head.
Also showing up and seeing other comics. You know, I've seen some comics do some crazy stuff up there, and
Oh
I've seen
yeah.
trauma dumping, and that
Oh
gives you
yeah.
confidence. You're just like, what just happened up there? So you're like, okay, my joke about getting deported is gonna go over just fine.
Yeah. I tell people who ask me like how they're scared to get on stage for the first time, and I'm like, just go watch an open mic, and you will see how low the bar is. It's
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
nobody knows what they're doing out there. So like,
Yeah,
like, oh, I can go bomb in a coffee shop.
exactly.
That's hilarious. And yeah, in the live chat, Evelyn asked your teacher, and it was Tamale Sepp,
Yes, I'm always set.
and that's Tamale SEPP.
PP. Yeah.
I found her here, and yeah, she sounds like someone we'll definitely have to get on the show. She sounds super dope.
Yeah, she's great. I
Yeah,
loved
that's
her.
what's up.
She was really
I love
thorough and really was patient with me because, like I said, I didn't think I was funny writing stuff down, and she was like, no. If you want clear examples, watch. I forget her name, Taylor Tomlinson. She's like, she's great at telling stories. Tom Segura is more of your speed, where you're a dad, and you're not in your 20s, so learn how he does it, how he sets it up. Then I have my own favorite comedians. I've noticed, even I went to Andrew Schultz earlier this year. My wife was noticing that I'm counting. I'm like, here's the setup, here's the supporting statement, and here comes the punch. And so she was like, are you watching or are you analyzing? I'm like, I'm doing homework, man.
Yeah. And James asked about that starfish or starburst technique. You said that's like a mind map or Venn diagram?
So basically, starburst. Basically, you make a Venn diagram. So if the topic was holidays, like mine was holidays this time, and I just basically what she said, for 10 minutes, you can put a timer, and you just try to think of everything you can, whether it's you. I did it with my life. Hey, I got a dog named this happened to me. I work at a barbershop, and you do that for 10 minutes, and that's basically to purge everything out of your head.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you could think of on the fly. She explained it as, if you're doing something, a set on yourself, if someone was to find a time capsule, they could be able to replicate some of the stuff that just based off this Venn diagram or this starburst, she called it. And I found that really helpful because, as you saw Jerry Corley, he just lists stuff, and his listing technique, I find that very helpful with word association. So I did that with holiday, Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, and I just wrote everything I could find. And in yours, I watched your workshop that you did, the 5 Steps to Funny.
Yeah.
As I made breakfast every day, and I was just like, okay, what can I write about this? And I was like, well, he's talking about his dog. Let me write this. And I just basically did that. So that's what you do. So with starbursting, you pretty much just throw everything out there, and then you can come off little subtopics. With holiday, you got Christmas. Oh, okay, Santa Claus and elves and their names and stuff like that. So it's able to be like a mind, just like you said.
Yeah. And the further out you get, it's almost like the more specific and detailed it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I love writing in that way because it's just a more like organic way to find funny connections and funny punchlines. that are more in line with your comedic voice and a little less formulaic. It's just it's a more organic way to find the funny in certain things. I like writing that way as well. Beautiful. And Anthony Borboa asked when we're going to see your quotes on a shirt.
My quotes.
You're already asking for merch out here.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I
hilarious.
have a ton of quotes, a lot of stuff that I say in the barbershop. So I guess that's what he's talking about.
Well, where can the Hot Breathverse connect with you on social media if they enjoyed this and want to reach out to you or just keep in touch? Because I was super jazzed. Like, this was, we hadn't really connected before, and you just never know who's in this community and who's doing what. So to see a newer face like you in here in the contest for the first time, hit a home run right out the gate. I was very excited, and my wife thoroughly enjoyed your set as well. We always love watching these sets together, and you definitely had her rolling, which is the top priority of all this. So,
well, the good thing is your wife laughs at my jokes because my wife doesn't.
Well, ditto. If it was my video, she wouldn't be laughing for sure. Yeah. That's facts.
So the best way to find me is I have obviously my Facebook. It's my name, Mitchell Marroquin. But I do have a comedy. I pretty much did TikTok, Twitter, everything is under Barrio Boy Comedy. That's BARRIOBOY Comedy. I even have the website, which has nothing on it. But I guess Tamale had that much faith in me right away. She had told me, she's like, I see your passion. I see you're really funny. So let's just get all this set up. Let's get it set up now. So TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all of it is under Barrio Boy Comedy. And I do plan on doing a lot more stuff. If I can do TikToks, if I could do add more content on there, that's something that I'm definitely looking forward to.
Facts.
And doing more contests.
Yeah. We'll definitely bring them back in the new year. I'll be off this next month. But we'll definitely be bringing them back because this is it's so much fun and it's such great accountability and just forces comics just to create a lot in a short amount of time, which we all just need a reason. It's like we just need some sort of structure to help guide all of our creativity. Otherwise, we can just kind of be all over the place,
Oh, yeah. I'm a procrastinator. I was a terrible student in school, so I was like, now I have something to write for, and there's $100. I need it.
Big facts. Oh yeah, we're gonna hit that up after this. Don't you worry. So, Hot Breathiverse, thank you for hanging out. Go connect with Mitchell on social media. Let him know you enjoyed this. And if you want to be up to date on all the other Hot Breath happenings we have here, join our email list linked in the show notes. And if you're listening to this the week of the episode, Thanksgiving week, I am doing a Black Friday sale on my workshops to give you 3 workshops for the price of 1, just to help you kind of level up your comedy game heading into 2025. So that's linked in the show notes as well. But once again, congrats, Mitchell, and I'm excited to see you in the next contest, man. And shout out to Arizona Comedy. They got a good one out there.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Shout out to Tucson, Arizona, man.
Let's go, my guy. Well, have a good night out there, Mitchell. We appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you. You too.
Adios.
Thanks. Bye.
All right there, Hot Breathverse. Thank y'all so much for hanging out. Oh my gosh. If you're not subscribed to this YouTube channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And please tell your friends if you want to get involved in this comedy community. The best way to do that is probably join our email list and our Facebook group. We're all about positivity and community here. And we appreciate y'all spending your valuable Monday evening with us. And shouts out again to Mitchell. I'm going to get out of here so I can go pay this man his $100. And it's dólares, no pesos. So thank y'all so much for hanging out. We love you all. And join us tomorrow, Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're doing a live Q&A with Sam Brown, who's a member of the whitest kids you know. Sorry, I almost butchered the name. But he's in a sketch group that started with friends that became a TV show and now has a huge cult following. And he's going to join us to talk about sketch writing and how it can help in your stand-up writing. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So join us tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But until then, my friends, y'all have a lovely Monday evening. We love you all. And we'll see y'all tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye, y'all.